So, if you're like many people here at Bridgeway, you have entered the 40-day fast in preparation for our worship, prayer, and healing night. And that means you have given something up, something that's hopefully important to you, something that matters, and you've begun that process of fasting from that particular thing. Whenever we do this, oftentimes what we're doing in the fast is we're creating sacred space. And that's space where God can work, where God can do something different. For some people, it might be sensitizing them to the needs of others. For others, it might be sensitizing them to where God wants to go in this particular season. Whatever that might be, though, that sacred space gets opened up. And one of the prime things that we need to do is to fill that space again with things that will draw us closer to Christ, make us more sensitive to what He's doing and how He is moving around us. People choose a lot of different things. For some people, they'll choose a different kind of worship music, or they'll put something into their life in terms of their Bible reading and the scriptures. And I want to encourage you that I think that's a really important thing that you can do. Interestingly enough, there was a new study done by the Center for Bible Engagement that was tracking the habit patterns of people who read through the scriptures. One of the things they discovered is this, that if you expose yourself to Bible reading just one time a week, it almost has a negligible effect upon your life. If you do it 2 times a week, it has almost negligible effect upon your life. If you do it 3 times a week, there's a little blip on the radar that shows some growth, some development, and some improvement. But if you do it 4 times a week, all of a sudden it spikes off the chart. And one of the things that this can help us understand is that when we give something up and we replace it with reading the scriptures, particularly God's truth, as we talk about leaning into God's love and His truth and His healing, when that happens, all of a sudden God does great things. God moves us in ways that we might never have understood before. So if it's just, hey, I'm going to replace whatever I've been doing with reading the scriptures, whether it's 5 minutes, it doesn't matter how much time, just to take that time to do that. Other people will replace it with maybe walking and taking time to pray. Other people will use it to sensitize themselves to what's going on around them in terms of the lives of people that God may want to reach out to during this time. That's one of the things I'm trying to focus on right now as I'm replacing. But another thing I'm doing is I'm actually just reading through the gospel accounts of Jesus' life and watching the healing stories. Because I want to be more familiar with how God works in this process of healing, both spiritually, physically, emotionally, mentally, whatever that might be. And I'm just trying to sensitize myself to that whole process of how Jesus allowed the Father to use Him. Whatever it is you choose, though, to take out to create that sacred space, we want to encourage you. Replace it with something that will really, really matter. And what you'll see is you'll see tremendous growth in your own spiritual relationship with God.